think I got something from Amazon that I've been needing for a while, so let's find out if it is that. Oh wow, it is just not even remotely assembled. Okay, so that's what I ordered from Amazon, and I like it because it has this like wicker effect. It's plastic though, so just need to scoot this one in. Yeah, see, this is the problem though. As you just saw, it tipped over. So I'm gonna have to do something that kind of keeps these from falling over from the wind. I'm probably gonna have to maybe put like a brick down in there, and hopefully that will keep them from tipping over. Sitting outside in the back. Loki's right here. This is what we do now. We come out here several times a day now that the weather's a lot nicer, it's not as hot. And I just let him have, we'll sit out here for like an hour multiple times a day. So, and I'll just sit out here in my chair and just relax. It's been really lovely. Ignore the mess I need to pick up from Loki. It's like mountains from a mastiff, you know what I mean? I haven't been vlogging as much in the last couple days because I've been really grinding and getting my fall and Halloween kits out. I'm officially done. Got them all packed. It's a Sunday, so tomorrow morning, dropping them off at the post office. And yeah, now I get to prep for my Christmas kits, so that's something I'm gonna do. But this time I think I'm gonna try to like go ahead and pre-package a lot of them before the release. That way I have a bunch of them already made. So I'm very excited about my Christmas kits because they're gonna be the best so far. But I really loved my fall and Halloween kits too though. Like I can't wait honestly till like next year and do more of them. But yeah, so I haven't really been vlogging that much, but I have been like doing a really good job in my opinion of kind of balancing things out and just trying to live a little bit more, because I can tend to be a workaholic in a way, so you know. Loki is starting to stay by my side more and more. As a puppy, he just kind of like wanted to explore life. But now he's very much become a lot like, well, one, like his breed. It's just in their nature to be by their owners. So very much like Loxy, and it makes me so happy because I love him. Look how cute he is. Good morning. Made myself some coffee, and I also have some croissants warming up in there, and I'm waiting for a plumber. Yeah, that's the new drama of the week. Here's my cute little Halloween tier tray, by the way. I have a couple things from Dollar Tree, so like these pumpkins. This is a candle, Dollar Tree. This is Etsy. Dollar Tree? No. Dollar General, Dollar General, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Etsy. It's super cute. I don't know that this is the spot for it, but it's cute. I think it would probably be cuter over there in the coffee bar, but I gotta figure out what I'm doing over in that section. But anyways, how adorable is today's mug? I'm in my office, and usually my office routine in the morning is I have YouTube on. So I'm watching Rebecca Hoots, and I've been doing like a new setup on my desk, which you guys will see soon. Next week, I need to go to Hobby Lobby and get some of my pictures framed and then finish the decorations of this top part. This is not it. This is just holding stuff right now. And then I also want to organize the closet. And then my second chair arrives today. Hopefully it arrives today. So essentially I'm almost there. I also need to mount my TV on the wall. And I need to, you know, also kind of like work on the shelving. I mean, just like little things, but stuff that, you know, takes time. So being it's October 4th, I can see myself completing this by the end of the month. So I'm very excited because I really want this space to, you know, draw me in, me feel inspired being in here, because I do spend a lot of my time. So yeah, right now I have a gentleman that's here looking at a plumbing issue, or I don't know, something on the side of my house like started beeping, and I was like, what is this thing? There's just so much stuff that's attached to the outside of these Florida homes, and I'm not used to that. Like, for example, like the sprinkler system. Maybe this is like that in other places in Texas too, but growing up in the Dallas suburbs, I've never seen anything like that. It's always been inside the home, like the sprinkler system, like in the garage. So there's just so many things attached to the outside here. And yeah, so anyways, one thing was beeping really loud, and I didn't know what it was, so I called the number on it, and they were like, oh, you need to call a plumber. And I'm like, what? So something about, I don't even know what I have. That, like, you would think like I would need to know these things, but I'm just a human being. I can't know absolutely everything. I learn as I go. I learn as it applies to me, and I'm subjected to it, I guess. So I'm just not used to like having to deal with anything sewage related, you know? Like, you can have like a clogged toilet in Dallas, like that's the extent. I've never, oh my God, the drool on the walls in my office are so bad. I need to clean them. So I still don't even know like kind of what's going on. But basically the system that's been beeping is designed to tell you when your pipes are backed up, and I'm just like, what? So I don't know what's going on. Hi, you are handsome today. So yeah, oh God, I don't know what's going on. Hello. Oh wow, look at you. What a big boy you are today. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that, dude. Okay, get down, get down. Oh, you weigh so much. Anyways, he just quoted me for like a pre-look into figure out what's wrong with it, and the quote was astronomical. It was like $400, and I'm like, what? So I don't know, you guys. I don't know, but also it has like this, and for any like Floridians or just anyone, like I don't even know, but like it has a red light on top of this box as well. Anyways, this light that sits on top of the box is supposed to trigger the alarm and the light, but it didn't trigger the light. But the light does work because you can flip this switch and it will do like an alarm test, and when you flip it, the light comes on. There's also supposed to be like a silence. You can like just stop. the sound, and so you toggle down, and that didn't work. So I'm kind of hoping this is more like an electrical thing and it just like tripped this alarm and has nothing to do with what's going on, but it doesn't matter because what he just quoted me is like him looking into do I call it a septic tank? I don't actually know like what's on my property. I don't know anything. So, but hi guys, editing me. I thought I would kind of jump in here because this is footage from like October 4th and it's the 19th. So I think you guys are getting this video on the 20th if I have everything right. Anyways, so I have had another plumbing issue after what ended up happening on this particular visit. I don't know if I ended up vlogging it, so I thought I would just kind of give you guys the full update here. Probably not that anyone cares, oh my god, about my plumbing issues. But basically, when the guy showed up, it ended up being just what I thought. It was a faulty wire that was tripping the alarm. So the alarm is triggered by floaters, like floaties, that are in the septic tank, essentially. So if the water reaches a certain level, it'll trigger the alarm. And then there's a second floaty, which is like a little bit higher at the top, closer to ground level. That's like your emergency. At that point, you could have some water coming back up, essentially. So anyways, he still went down into the septic tank and he rinsed it, and he talked about how there were wipes, which, you know, Micah and I don't use wipes, so I knew that probably was like a previous owner kind of thing because they had babies, but like whatever, doesn't really matter. But I know not to like flush certain things down the toilet because like even living in the Dallas suburbs and me not having to deal with stuff like this, I still didn't flush things down the toilet because it can create a blockage issue even in a place where you don't have a septic tank. So I've always known not to like put anything, I don't put anything besides toilet paper in the toilet. Like that's it, toilet paper. So like I don't even flush like hair. Like if I pull hair off of my brush, none of that goes in the trash. So I digress. So he, on this October 4th trip, it was the faulty wiring, and in that process, he talked about, you know, that whole thing, and I was just kind of like, okay. And he cleaned it all out, and then he also replaced the floaters, which I think the floaters is like where the electrical line probably connected to all this, blah, blah, blah. So, and I was out there, so I looked down in there, the water wasn't, like I didn't even see any water kind of thing because it was probably just like, I don't know. So the point is, he fixes the issue, and, you know, that was a couple weeks ago. Then, last night, Micah made a comment to me that when she went to wash her hands in this bathroom right here, the one with the vintage sailboat theme right outside my office, she said that when she turned on the faucet, the toilet bubbled. And immediately my first thought was, oh no, because when I had contacted this company and I was scheduling an appointment, they're like, are your toilets bubbling? Are you hearing any gurgling in the sink? And I'm like, no, because that wasn't happening at all. Because that wasn't the problem. The problem was just the sound going off on that machine. So I'm thinking, what is going on now? You know, because that's usually how it goes. Like, I hate saying it, but I feel like when you have somebody come out to do work in your house, there's always something that gets messed up by that work that creates a scenario to come back. And really the same thing happened with my irrigation system, which I talked about on a Dollar Tree haul. I talked about what happened with my irrigation, but listen, another time. So he does all this work and he leaves. It's a couple weeks later, and Micah makes the gurgling thing, and then that was last night. And then this morning, I go to flush the toilet, and the water rises and doesn't flush. Luckily, it doesn't rise to the point of overflowing, so I didn't touch the toilet. I didn't try to flush it again. And I didn't have a plunger, so I don't know why I don't have a plunger, but like I don't have a plunger, so I went to another toilet because I'm like, let me see. So I flush it just to flush it, and the water rises. And the same thing in my bathroom. So all the bathrooms downstairs I flushed, same thing. So I called a different plumbing company, which I kind of was like, oh, I probably shouldn't do this, but I just felt some type of way about like the first job because I felt like he was trying to scam me on what he was charging me and kind of thing, you know. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't, but it just, when you're a woman by yourself dealing with things, this is something I've dealt with my whole life. I'm always having to like research before something so that I can have as much of an educated conversation with someone because I've just been taken advantage of. Like things like mechanics and stuff like that. Anything where they just think you're just probably going to be dumb kind of thing. So I know not everybody does this, but like, so I called a different company, which they were so nice. As a matter of fact, the guy on the phone, he was like, let me help you troubleshoot first. Because I told him what happened. I told him that I had a company come out and I told him what the guy did. And he goes, you know what? He goes, it's been a couple weeks. He goes, maybe because he was dealing with wiring, he did not put the breaker back. So he explained to me where I could find the breaker attached to the septic tank. And so sewer tank, septic, I don't know if the words are the same or not, but like you get it. So I go find this thing again on the outside of the house. And sure enough, the breaker was tripped. Actually, it was just in neutral and it wasn't left and it wasn't right. It was just dead center. So he was like, okay, he was like, put it to the right. So I did. And that was supposed to trigger the pump essentially. And so he goes, do you hear anything? Do you hear any like sounds of the pump going? And I said, I hear nothing. He was like, okay. He's like, let me send somebody out. And I checked the toilets. They didn't make any sort of move when I flipped the breaker. So he sends a guy out here and the guy basically says, who was so nice, he was like, listen, he was like, what you need to do is you need to call that company back because you should have a warranty on the job that they did. And, you know, what's happening is when the pump or the, what did he call it? The pump grinder, whatever, he says that it was trying to turn on and then it would flip the breaker. So, and that has to deal with, you know, obviously electricals. So whatever the guy did with all the electrical stuff, it was messing stuff up. So he said, because this guy was out here and this is what he was doing, he must have done something wrong. So you want to call them because then they'll come out here and, you know, basically have to fix what they did for free rather than you having another $500 to $700 bill and maybe even more depending on like, you know, really what's going on. So I really appreciated how honest this company was and how nice this guy was. So I did just that. I called the previous company, told them what was going on, and they won't be out here till tomorrow. So I'm just like, what are we supposed to do? So we can't take any showers tonight. You know, obviously running the water very little, and because the pump isn't going anywhere. The pump isn't doing anything. So that's the update. That's all I have. I'll let you guys know what happens, you know, when he's tomorrow. Good morning. I've been cleaning the house a little bit. There goes Loki. It's almost his nap time. So he's gonna go in his kennel. He got a good long walk about an hour ago. And I need to mop the floor, so I'm gonna do that while he naps, because I've just been neglecting the floors and I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm gonna take care of them. So I just vacuumed them, that's the first step. Then I'm going to steam mop them. And I've already done my main channel stuff. So I went to Dollar Tree. I filmed a shop with me actually, kind of like vlog style. And I went to the beach. But before I did all that, as you can see, I woke up, made my bed. I need to vacuum the floors in here. I'm gonna do that later. And I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon kind of planning. Here I am, by the way. I'm gonna plan my Christmas merch and do all that. I've created a lot of most of my Christmas composition notebooks on Amazon, but there's a gingerbread theme that I want to do, so I'm going to work on that today and get those. By the time you guys are watching this vlog, they're probably already live, so if you want to jump ahead and get my Christmas journals. But you can also still buy my Halloween journals. They'll always be up all year round, so whatever makes your heart happy. And I have that on today. So really my goal today is just to kind of get the house clean, because while I work and while Loki naps, I just want to feel like the house is clean. Also, here's a new development in the furniture. So this came from Micah's room. If you remember, I have 3 of these. They were in the library at the last house. I wanted 4 of them, but I couldn't get my hands on a 4th one. It just kept getting delayed, so I ended up with 3. And they're pretty expensive. They're from Nebraska Furniture Mart, so I just couldn't part with them. And when we got here, Micah took 2 of them. They're upstairs in her room. Well, Micah's been doing a makeover of her room, and so these no longer serve a purpose, so we brought them downstairs, and I think it's gonna go here. So the 3rd one's in the garage, but I'm not gonna move that one back into the house when we can bring the 2nd one down like we did. We just together brought it down and then we slid it into the spot. So whenever the 2nd one comes down from her room, I'll just slide it in here. I did measure. Unfortunately, there's just not enough space for all 3. Plus, I think it might be just too much. It would have stuck out by 4 inches. So that's just not gonna look right. I think 2 is actually gonna be the perfect number. And I'm gonna go with this for a while because I talked about how I wanted to do a china cabinet here, but I also remarked that I was gonna wait until, I talked about how I was basically going to wait until next year to deal with that, because that's a big piece of furniture. I didn't want to have to deal with that while I'm in the middle of, this is my busiest time for YouTube, so I just didn't want to take on that. And so it gives me time, it's gonna give me a couple months to kind of live with those and see if I like it. And then when next year, January rolls around, I'll make my decision then. I feel like I'm probably not gonna end up doing a china cabinet because this actually works really well with the dining room furniture, and I'll show you. So here's the dining room furniture. As you can see, it's like this chocolatey brown. And when you look at this, it has a distressing in it that when you look up close has that same chocolatey brown color. And I knew that I wanted my china cabinet to be white, and this is honestly just perfect for this space. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for the 2nd. The reason why the 2nd one's still in Micah's room is because it's still filled with her books, and I have to order her a smaller shelf, and it's out of stock, so it's kind of we're a little in limbo. Yes, could I go to the garage and bring out the other one? I could. Do I want to? No. And the reason why is because at this point, it's in its spot. I'd have to clean it. We've put shoes on it, essentially. Nothing that I obviously can't clean, but, because then, when the 2nd one comes down, it's still gotta get put away. So, in my mind, this is just easier, and I'm willing to wait. Here is the state of the kitchen. I tidied up all my fruit. I want a whole different like system for my fruit. I want like one bowl, one of those like huge wooden bowls, and then I think I'm gonna like display it here or something, because I don't really want anything over here, but there's just a lot going on. I really didn't know honestly what to do with this kitchen for Halloween, so it's okay, it's fun. I'm still getting all the, like, I love this whole back. Yeah, I love the ghosts. I just kind of added them into like the fall with my pumpkins, so there we are. And here's the living room, nice and clean. The light is a little blue. I don't know why, lighting in this house is a little crazy. I really thought actually that I was gonna get a bunch of good natural light, but there are some lighting issues, but that's okay. And 16 candles. I'm about to go put Loki up, and then I'm going to go into my office and do some work.